Hello and welcome to Pearls of Paradise. My name is Courtney and I'm coming to you from Parma, Ohio, where I live with my husband and all of our yarn. Today is Friday, October 28th. It's episode 8 and it is a chilly fall day here in Northeast Ohio. So, welcome to any new viewers. Welcome back to my returning viewers. If you're returning, you have probably noticed we are in a new location. This is just something we're trying. We have a shared sunroom that we share with my aunt and uncle who live on the other side of our house. And I don't get the opportunity to use it all that often, but they are out for the day, so it was free for podcasting. That being said, I do live in the city. There will be city noises. There may also be some squirrels running around in the background. I apologize if it's distracting. Hopefully it won't be too bad, but we will see. So we'll just see how it goes. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Pearls of Paradise. And I also have that linked below, and my Pokemon friend code is also down below. If you like this video, I would love it if you'd give it a thumbs up, if you would subscribe, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you're working on, or whatever. Just say hi. I have really enjoyed getting to interact with all of you. So, housekeeping stuff. Let's get that out of the way. Podcasting schedule for the rest of the year. The end of the year is coming up. It's going to be here so fast. And I love this time of year. I love it. I love all the festivities. I love Christmas lights. I love all those things. I love it. But it also goes by so fast and there's so much going on. So that being said, I am not sure what recording is going to look like for the rest of the year. I do plan to record again in 2 weeks on that Friday. I am not sure if I will record 2 Fridays after that. Okay, car alarm. It's going to be a weird episode, guys. Just bear with me. So, recording. I don't know that I'll record on Black Friday because I have some plans. I'm just not sure what the rest of the year is going to look like. We will see. We'll see. My hope is that it'll all work out. And episode ideas. So leave me in the comments if you have ideas for future episodes. Things like a Q&A episode, not tutorial kind of things. Tutorials aren't really my jam, but like Q&As, fun questions. Do you want to see what all I've made in a certain year, or all the hats or all the socks, or somebody did suggest all the socks episode where I show all my socks I've made, which I might do that. That sounds like a good January or February episode. Anyways, if you have any kind of ideas like that, I would love to hear them. And I think that's all I have for housekeeping, so we are going to move right along. What I'm wearing. I don't have this on yet, but I'm going to put it back on because it is very cold. I did have a space heater going, but I realized you could hear it in the video, so I turned it off. And the window behind me is open because otherwise we were getting a really yucky glare, and that was the whole point of moving out here, was to have a different nice background, so it's a little bit chilly. But I really wanted to show you guys this. So this arrived right after I finished podcasting last time. And this hoodie is from Fangirl Fibers, and if you've been around for any length of time, you know I am a Pokemon Go girl. So, got it in a mall. And it's got Eevee on there with a ball of yarn, and I just love it. I checked this morning. She still has them available in her shop, fangirlfibers.com. She also has one that I really want that has Princess Tiana and Latte, and they're eating cake and they're knitting, and I forget what it says, but it's like cake and yarn are better with friends or something, and I really want that one too. Just for transparency, I did order this in a large, which is usually pretty roomy on me, but I kind of wish I had gone up even to an extra large. So just keep that in mind if you do order one of these. You may want to go up a size, because I find that they're, if you like a little bit of a looser fit, you might want to go up a size. Okay, that is better. The second thing I'm wearing are my Vanilla Latte socks by Virginia Rojan or something. I think that's how you pronounce that. And I showed them on my very first episode. Let's see, can I get my foot up? Whoop, there we go. That's as far as we're going today. I knit mine in Felici, Knit Picks Felici fingering weight yarn in the Aquarium colorway. And the heels, toes, and cuffs, I know they're from Besito fibers, but I don't remember the colorway, and I didn't put it on Ravelry, so I'm not sure. So that's thing 2 I'm wearing. And thing 3 is the Road to Success hat by Marley Bird. And it's got these lovely cables. I knit this in Red Heart's Chic Sheep by Marley Bird in the Polo colorway. And I love this hat. I knit mine really slouchy. You can knit yours fitted. It's so nice. And I loved this little detailing here, but the rest of it is just a nice stockinette. It was really fun to knit. And that's what I'm wearing. So, and if I seem like I'm rushing, I'm not trying to. I think it's the new location is throwing me off. But that's okay. If this doesn't work, we just won't do it again. And if it does work, we probably won't do it until spring or summer anyway, because it's cold out here. Okay, so I have no finished objects, and you know what? We'll talk about why. Let's talk about why first. So I mentioned in my last video that I am now a contract knitter and test knitter, sample knitter, whatever you want to say, for Marley Bird. I'm not being paid to promote her patterns or anything at all. I just really love her patterns. That's why you'll see a lot of it. I knit this one, I don't know, 2020. I knit a lot of her stuff. I'm not paid to promote her at all. So just for transparency, but I do currently have a project that I'm knitting for her that is super secret that I can't talk about, that has taken almost all of my knitting time this week. My hope is after I podcast to be able to finish that up today and get that sent out to her. And I will get more details. I will share more about it once that pattern is released. But I can't say anything else about that right now. So if there's less knitting content this week, that's why. All right, works in progress. My first one, you guys have seen a lot. I made a lot of progress, but it doesn't look that different. It's living in this bag from It's Coming Up Rosy. We are really enjoying using all... Oh, it's not in this bag. I swapped bags. I don't want to start this episode over again, but we might have to. I'm going to try something. We're going to see if this works. I'll be right back. Let's see if this works. Oh, it looked like it actually worked this time. I tried pausing my episode once before to take a phone call, and I was almost done filming, and it lost the whole thing, and it was very, very sad. Anyway, okay. I ran and got it. Did I open the bag to make sure it is the right project? No, it is. Good. Okay. Thank you guys for bearing with me today. If you're new, we are not normally this all over the place. It's just the way it is. It's just how it is today, and that's okay. That's all right. Sometimes it's okay to be all over the place. Okay, so if you've been around the past few episodes, you've seen this is the Anakin Cowl by Tanis Gray, and it is in her book, Star Wars Knitting the Galaxy. I didn't bring it out here because I don't have any more space to put it, and I've shown it several times. I'll link it down below. So this is where I was when I podcast last, and this is what I got done this last week. I didn't touch it at all this week. So it is really coming along. We were kind of able to drape it around my husband so he could, this is for my husband, by the way. We're able to drape it around him to see how it looks, and it's going to be so nice. And I have a feeling I may steal it sometimes. Mason, if you're watching, hold on to your cowl when it's done. Anyway, so I've talked about this a lot. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail. It's knit in a tube, and then at the end it'll get Kitchener together, and it will hopefully be long enough to do a double wrap, but I'm not convinced that it will be based on the yarn I have left. So we'll see, but I love how this is coming out. And my husband loves it too. He's super excited. So again, that is the Anakin Cowl by Tanis Gray, and I am knitting that in Kramer Yarns Perfection Worsted, which is 30% wool, 70% acrylic. There's two different labels. This is the Granite colorway, and I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember the other. Fauna. This is the Fauna colorway, and the other label. I think this yarn may be discontinued. I'm not really sure. I was looking around online to see if I could find another ball of the Granite, and I didn't. Oh my. Okay. I have everything in a basket today, and this is caught on my basket. Anyways, I was looking around to see if I could find another, there we go, ball, and I can't find anywhere that sells this yarn. So I'm thinking it's probably discontinued. But I might message somebody on Ravelry or something if I see they have it in their stash. If I get close and run out of the Granite, I don't know. I'm not really sure. We'll figure that out when we get there. Okay. So there's that. My second work in progress is another one you guys have seen several times. I'm halfway through picking up for the gusset. And so we've got like some weird stuff happening here. But I got the heel done and finished the leg on my apple cider sock. There will eventually be a second one. If you go back a couple of episodes, you can hear all about the journey that this sock has been on, and it's been ripped out. It's had a lot happen. So anyways, there's that. It's a 64 stitch sock on a US 1.5 needle, and the gold was a special August 2020 colorway by Clark & L. And this was a mystery D-stash skein from Ms. Monsters Creations, and I do not believe she is dying anymore. I am 99% sure. So anyways, that's the apple cider sock. It's hanging out in my vintage Halloween bag, which this might be the last time you see it till next year. I'll probably switch it out. And this is from Cherry Pie Cottage. Okay. Next. This one is my Hocus Pocus project bag. This is by It's Coming Up Rosie, so she did get featured anyway. And living in here is my Scary Squish Cowl, which I think is almost done. It's supposed to be 18 inches long, and I think we're getting close. And this pattern is by Cairo Romaguera. I'm so sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. And the yarn is Lady Di Yarns. It was a special Hocus Pocus kit she did last year. And the yarn is called... It's in her Superwash Merino DK base, and it's called Just a Bunch of Hocus Pocus. So I knit this much on it, and like I said, in the evenings I've been working on my contracted project, so I'm just not getting as much done on this, but that's okay. I still think it'll be done hopefully by Halloween. I am hoping it stretches a bit, but we'll see. I would love to be able to wear this on Halloween to work. I think they're really lovely, fun colors. Actually, this would look really nice with this hoodie. This would be really cozy for today. So yeah, it's a really simple pattern. This would be a great gift knit too. If you're looking for something sort of quick that you could start now to gift someone for the holidays, or a thank you for the end of the year or whatever, this would make a great gift knit too. So that is my Scary Squish Cowl by Cairo Romaguera. And that's that. I feel like I don't have a lot to say about any of these whips today. Pretty much just put some length on. I don't know. I don't feel like I did a lot of exciting knitting. Because, like I said, I've been working on that other thing. So, I did pull out a languishing whip that I really haven't touched in a long time. I did have this up on my Whip Parade episode, which I think was episode 2 or 3. And it's in my Avenger bag with like the little Avengers. My husband got me this for Christmas, I think, last year. And this is my, let's see, Throwing It Back by Cozy Up Knits. And this was their MCal last year. And obviously, it's not done yet. And this year's MCal. It starts usually not Christmas Eve, wow. New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, depending on what time zone you're in. So I guess it is 2022. Anyways, an MCal, let me explain that. So I know I have a few beginning knitters, and when I started out and started getting into the knitting kind of podcast world, like beyond just going to Michael's or Joann's and picking up a skein and a red heart pattern or something, people used a lot of terms and abbreviations I didn't understand. And if I say something that you don't understand, please, please, please don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel like you can't ask. Please leave a comment. I'm happy to answer any questions. Part of why I started this was to spread the love of knitting and fiber crafts. So I don't want anybody to feel left out or like they can't participate. So anyways, an MCal is a mystery knit along, and it usually is like every week a clue is released, and sometimes you'll know kind of what you're knitting. like Cozy Up's MCAL, which stands for Mystery Knit Along. Theirs is always a shawl. So I always know, okay, I'm knitting a shawl, but I don't know what it's going to look like. They tell you what needles you need, what yarn, all that kind of stuff. And every week a portion of the pattern is released, and it's really fun, and you get to see it come together. And then if you're like me, you go all in on clue 1 and you kind of go in on clue 2, and then you get really distracted or other things come up, and then it's October and you're like, wow, I want to do that knit along next year. I should finish the one from this year. But this is my throwing it back. This is what I have so far. This had been sitting for a long time, and I love these colors. I don't really remember why I put this down, but I did. So I picked it back up last Friday, I think, and I needed to figure out where I was in the pattern. I also found a bunch of progress keepers on this and in that bag that I forgot about. So that was fun. I have my little ghost cookie. He's got a Christmas cookie, so it's kind of Christmas, but it's a ghost, so it works. And I just did this much, just this little bit of lace here. So it was nice just to pull something different out. Sometimes when I let WIP sit for a long time, it almost feels like a new cast on that somebody's already knit a large part of for me. I don't know. It's kind of fun. I enjoy doing that. So hopefully you'll start seeing this more often, because I would really love to finish it. I love my kind of neon 80s colors. I love bright colors. I love knitting with bright colors. And then I wear a lot of black. But I love it. So hopefully this will make more of an appearance. The yarn is Knit Pick Stroll Fingering. The solids are Dandelion, Pucker, and I think Electric Blue. Is that what it's called? Yes, I'm looking over at my notes. And then the tonal is Pearlescent, and obviously is a tonal, not a solid. So yeah, if you're interested in participating, I know they have started kind of releasing some of the details. I think probably this week or next week more details will come out. It is a paid pattern, so just know that. But I believe this year, from what they've said, it's fingering weight, I think 1 main skein, and then 12 minis. And if you've been here a while, you know I love minis, so I'm very excited about this year's Mystery Knit Along. Okay, oh no, I have one more work in progress. So yesterday, I was down with a migraine, and once I started feeling better, I'm in the middle of a row. Once I started feeling better, I needed to work on something that took no brain power, that I could just knit on. I thought about doing my Scary Squish cowl, but I've kind of only worked on that in the evenings when my husband and I have watched a fall or spooky kind of movie. So I love that those are the memories I'm knitting into that project, and I just didn't want to knit migraine memories in. So I've also been craving a blanket. I haven't worked on any blankets in a while. It's getting chilly. I find myself wanting more blankets and wanting to work on them. So I pulled out my Cozy Memories, which is getting kind of big. Not nearly big enough, but big enough that it makes it a little tricky to show. And I finished this square. It had just been started, and I picked, am I showing you the correct side? Yes, I am. There's just tails galore. Finished up this square, and then I cast on this one. And both of these are Ms. Monster's creations. I don't know the name for this one. This one is Gingerbread Treats. And this is just a really lovely, scrappy, mitered square blanket. I'm following the version by Shelley Dupont of Polka Dot Creek, I believe. And I think this one is a free pattern on Ravelry, but I could be wrong on that. But I love this. I've got yarn from my Linus shawl, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. That Hocus Pocus scarf I wore a couple of weeks ago is most of that bottom row. I've got, this is from my first pair of toe-up socks I ever knit. Some of these are Big Sky Yarn Co. from their Advent that I got a few years ago. A lot of them are Ms. Monster's Creations from her Advent that I got last year, that I just got 10 gram minis to throw in here. I just love the way that this is coming out in all these bright colors, and it's so cozy. So this was the perfect thing to work on yesterday when I just wasn't feeling very well and needed a little something to knit on. And now I'm going to put it on my lap because it's cold. I don't anticipate this project being done for probably years, and that's okay. I really only like working on this time of year, up kind of through the holiday season, and then usually I want to work on something else. But that's all right. Okay, now we're done with the works in progress. Future possibilities. So one of the things I really wanted when I started this podcast, that I think I even said in the first episode was part of my reason, was I didn't have a lot of people in my life who knit, and I really wanted to connect with other fiber people, other knitters, and even crocheters, or other people who were interested in those things, passionate about those things, and maybe have some friends to knit with or chat knitting with. Well, funnily enough, I kind of, that was just what I wanted from this podcast. And now a bunch of my real life friends have started knitting. Right? This is so exciting. Most of them are people I work with. So it has been really, really fun for me the past few weeks to kind of it's just been so much fun to have other people to talk knitting with. In the break room the other day, I got to sit and knit with my coworker Sarah. Hi, Sarah. And at the end of the day, when I left work, I told my husband, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I always wanted. I did it. I just spent a whole hour chatting and knitting with someone, and that's so exciting for me. And it was so lovely. So anyways, I'm not stopping the podcast now that I have knitting friends here. I just want more knitting friends, because you can't really have enough, right? But we are, some of us in this little knitting group thing, we're not official, it's just some of my friends and we're going to start knitting the Ranunculus by, I should have written it down and I didn't, Midori Hirose, I think is her name. I have knit a Ranunculus in the past. It was the first sweater I knit for myself. I didn't have anyone to help me. I didn't really completely know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing, really. And so I knit it in yarn that was free to me. And it was it's like a nylon polyamide blend. It's fine. It's fine. But it hasn't held up great over the last couple of years, and I just didn't want to knit my first sweater without any direction for myself in really nice yarn and then mess it up. I did a short sleeve version, and I really want a nice one in a long sleeve version. I had so much fun knitting this. I really didn't have any trouble with it at all. I found it to be pretty adventurous, beginner friendly, So we're going to do a little knit along, my friends and I. I think we're going to cast on the end of December. I'm going to use that green yarn I talked about that I got the sweater quantity from Wool Gathering. I believe it's Scout from Kelburn Woolens. I don't remember the colorway. Moss Heather, maybe? I might be making that up. Forest Heather? I don't know. It's green. It's going to be lovely. It's going to be long sleeves. It's going to be cozy. I am excited. So if you would like to join us, and you've been looking for an excuse to cast on a Ranunculus, come join us. Not physically join us, because it might be far, but I don't know. Once we figure out when we're casting on, I'll let you guys know. There's not going to be any prizes or anything. There's not an end date. This is just like sort of an informal, you know, we're all knitting a Ranunculus together and it's fun to knit things with friends. Kind of knit along. So that will be really fun, and I am really looking forward to that. Let me see what I wrote down here. Other future plan possibilities. Possibly, I might, maybe, cast on a Vertices Unite shawl by Stephen West and use some of my monthly Disney skeins from Fangirl Fibers. I am completely sold on the idea of doing that. I'm just not sold on the idea of doing it right now. And by right now, I mean before the end of the year. We'll see. I'm debating on whether I want to cast something that big on, or if I would really like to just finish up a bunch of things to have done and off my needles to start 2023 with a lot of clear needles. But I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'm craving a cast on, but I don't know if I should do that. Should I? I don't know. The other reason I'm debating is I am going to be knitting 3 Christmas stockings for my nieces and nephew. I am so excited about it. I'll get into how it came about. Well, I'll just tell the story now. So I knit that baby sweater for my niece. I showed it a few episodes ago, and this last week, my sister-in-law was able to bring the kids in. I work at a public library, so she brought the kids in, we had lunch together, we played in the play area together. I got to give her the sweater for my little niece. She loved it. It looks so, it's going to be perfect on her, the baby, not my sister-in-law. The color is perfect with her skin tone. It's going to be so cute. And she asked if I knew of like an Etsy shop or something that knit stockings. She'd like the kids to each have kind of a Christmas stocking that's theirs, that's an heirloom kind of piece that then they can take with them someday when they leave the nest and, you know, have a home of their own, and ones that like wouldn't necessarily match, but would kind of go together cohesively. And I was like, well, I could do that. I can totally do that. That can be the Christmas gift this year. So I'm going to be knitting 3 stockings. 2 of them are for girls, 1 is for a boy. And I think I know what I'm knitting for each of them. I need to get that yarn ordered later today. I'm knitting all of them in City Tweed DK by Knit Picks. I love that yarn. It is just my favorite. I love working with it. I say a lot of things are my favorite. But I love working with it. It's so soft. It's great for color work. It's just lovely. So very excited about doing those. That being said, once that yarn comes, I'm going to be in stocking land for a little bit, which will be a lot of fun. But not sure if I should cast on a ginormous shawl if I'm going to need to knit 3 colorwork stockings. I apologize if I'm talking very fast today. I'm not sure why. It might be because it's cold. I don't know, but we are doing really good on time. And by good, I mean we're actually running really short. So, okay. So if you were here for the knitting, that's kind of what I have, but we're adding in a new segment today, which, I don't know where I put this in the order. You know what? We'll just do it now. Gift knit ideas. So this is something my mom suggested. Hi, Mom. That we do this episode. And if you guys like this, I would be happy to do some more of these for next episode. But once again, end of the year, if you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or any other gift-giving holiday I might be missing, or any in general holiday I'm missing, birthdays, everybody in my family has birthdays this time of year. It's birthday holiday season for us. Or if you just have someone, if you don't celebrate holidays, but you want a quick little knit, you have someone you want to give a thank you gift to, any of that kind of thing. I thought it would be fun to show some gift knits that I've done, or talk about a few that are quicker, that don't take a ton of yarn, or are ones that you could knit from your stash. And all of the ones I'm going to talk about today are free patterns, which I know for some people, paid patterns aren't always accessible. I am so happy to buy paid patterns from designers. I think that the work they do is absolutely worthy of being, they should be paid for their work. But I also recognize that, especially right now and getting into the holiday season, buying a bunch of patterns might just not be for everybody. So let's run through what I have to show you. So the first one, and these get worn, so they are not pristine. Some of them have some pilling or like little linty bits on them or whatever. Full disclosure, these get worn. So this is the Barley Hat by Tin Can Knits. And once again, it's a free pattern. It's got this like garter panel and then stockinette. You can knit it slouchy, you can knit it fitted. It's very versatile. I'm trying to figure out a way to show this. This is the only one in our house right now that I know where it is. It's brown. Oh, there you can kind of see the texture difference a little bit. So this hat, I have knit probably about 15 of these total. I talked about Tin Can Knits before. Their size range is massive, from the tiniest baby to very large adult sizes. Very size inclusive. So this hat I knit a ton of a few Christmases ago. I did this hat for every male member of my husband's family. I had also knit one for one of my sisters-in-law. I knit my husband one. I knit my friend's boys ones. I knit and her husband one. I knit one for myself that has disappeared. I have no idea where it is. I've knit this hat a lot of times for a lot of people in yarn from very nice hand-dyed yarn all the way to like the cheapest clearance yarn from Joann's. It's worsted weight. It's super versatile. They also have a fingering weight version, which is I think the Barley Light or something. And you know what? Here, I'll take this off and I'll put this one on so you guys can kind of see. This is my husband's, so he wears it a little differently than I would. Oh, there you can see the texture a little bit better. So anyways, that's the Barley Hat by Tin Can Knits. It's a super versatile project for just about anybody you have on your gift list. And it doesn't take a ton of time. The garter panel gives it just a little bit of interest. So if you're looking for a good gift option or just a nice, simple winter hat for yourself, give that one a try. I'm putting this back on because it is cold. Okay. Next on my list is the Sunset Song Cowl by Marley Bird. And I knit this one in Heart Chic Sheep yarn in the Vineyard colorway. Like I said, that yarn's been discontinued. But you could knit this in just about any acrylic, merino, whatever you've got, worsted weight. And it's a basket weave texture with some chunky ribbing. And I wear this one quite often in the winter. But this is another great little gift knit. Especially if you're not sure about somebody's head size or something. It just makes a really nice little something cozy around your neck. You can pull it up over your head to kind of do the hood thing if you want. You can, pull it up like this if you live in a cold climate. And I think this took 2 balls of yarn. I don't even know if it took the full 2 balls. And of course you can knit it longer, you can knit it shorter. I believe I knit it to pattern. So that's the Sunset Song Cowl by Marley Bird. And it's another one that just makes a nice, quick little gift knit. All right. What do we have next? Next, I'll talk about one that I don't have anymore. The same year, this was the year I went crazy. Okay. I don't know why. At the time, it's one of those things that at the time seemed like such a good idea. And by the end, I was so burnt out. So burnt out. I knit, so the same year that I knit all of the men these hats, I didn't do it for the men on my side because I might have knit one for my dad. Maybe. I don't remember. My brothers, one of my brothers just doesn't wear the things that I knit for him. My other brother is extremely knit-worthy, but he wanted something different that he had requested. And I might have knit one for my dad, or I might have done something else. I don't remember. So for the women on my side, I knit the women on both sides, I knit everybody a dishcloth or washcloth, and it's called the Spring Tulip Dishcloth. And I wish I had one to show you, but I did not knit one for myself. And if I had, it probably would be really yucky by now. And it's a simple dishcloth or washcloth pattern, and it just has, with some yarn overs and slip stitches, a little tulip knit into the washcloth. And I gave that to all of the women with a bar of handmade soap from an Ohio farm. Everybody got a scent that kind of coordinated with their color of dishcloth or washcloth, and that was a really sweet gift. A lot of them absolutely loved them. I got So that being said, we'll take a little intermission from showing you things to talk about what it means as a knitter to gift knit. So like I said, that year, I just went crazy. I felt like I'm a gift person. I love to receive gifts. I love to give gifts. It's something I really value and I really love doing. And when you're a knitter or a crocheter or a quilter or a woodworker or a whatever, when you're a maker and you take the time to think about the person, think about the yarn you're going to use, think about the pattern. Think about the sizing, and then put all that together and spend your time and your energy creating this handmade gift. And while you're knitting it, you're thinking about the person, and just all of that is such a lovely experience. And not everyone's a gift person. Not everyone appreciates handmade items, and not everybody, I don't know, not everybody understands that and is into that. So I, like I said, I knit these for all the people, and some of them I never even heard back if they liked it or not. I did mail some of the gifts. Some of them I never, there was not really a thank you. There wasn't, anything. And then other people are so knit-worthy and are so like, oh my gosh, this is the best. I wear it every day. Send me a picture every time they're wearing their hat or using their dishcloth or washcloth or whatever. And there's no better feeling in the world than that. I love knitting things for people who appreciate them and love them and will use them. And that year I learned the lesson, I don't have to knit something for everyone. It's okay if I don't. And not everybody, needs a knit gift. And just because you knit something for somebody last year doesn't mean you have to do it this year. It doesn't mean that because you used that super nice expensive yarn for them last year that you have to do the same thing this year. It's okay. It's okay to say no. It's okay to limit yourself. And it's okay to say, well, this person, I love them dearly, but they're not knit worthy. That's okay. And on the other hand, if you don't get something from a knitter, it doesn't always mean you're not knit worthy. It just means they weren't feeling it, So don't feel like you have to knit something for everybody. I felt that way for a long time. And I also, for a long time, felt like I couldn't say no to requests. I felt like I had to knit things for people when I didn't want to. I've gotten a lot better at saying no and only saying yes to the ones I really want to do and the projects that really excite me. So that's my little soapbox about gift knitting. But you do you. If you love gift knitting, if you have gift knitting patterns you want to share, please, please share down below. Let me know if you're gift knitting. I don't gift knit a ton anymore. I only usually do a couple things now. A few things a year for gifts. Anyway, that's my little soapbox. Sorry if you are not interested in that rambling. Anyways, moving on. The next one that I have that I don't have is the Elegant Knit Crown by Catherine Andrews. And it's another one, doesn't take a lot of yarn, worsted weight. And this is a kid's pattern. I think for like toddlers or preschoolers maybe. And it's just a little crown. And I knit those for my nieces. They're all born in 2017. So all the same age. And maybe when they turned 2 or 3, maybe 4, I don't remember. I knit it a few years ago. And it's just a little crown. And it's so much fun. They can put it on their head. And that's a free pattern. So if you have a child you want to knit for, or even if you want to knit one for an adult, you could just add some repeats, make it bigger. There might even have been an adult size, I don't remember. But that's a fun pattern. If you have a little prince or princess in your life, that's a good one. Okay, so next is the Spring Ahead Beanie by Cozy Up Knits. So if the Barley Hat is not your jam, this one might be. And it's kind of hard to see on this one, but there's kind of a broken rib texture. This is a free pattern. This one is also my husband's. and I knit it in Hannah Made It yarn in her Trash colorway, which is a Toy Story 4 reference. Forky. But yeah, this one is another one I've knit several of. I knit him one, I knit myself one, I knit my sister-in-law one. By the way, I have 4 sisters-in-law, so, you know, when I say my sister-in-law, I might be meaning any of them. But anyway, that's another great hat one. Or if you just want a hat for yourself, would highly recommend that pattern. And I mentioned the Linus shawl earlier, I think. Yes, because I had a little scrap left over that I popped in my Cozy Memories blanket. And this is my Linus shawl. I wear this pretty often. It is a one skein project. It's very simple, just an asymmetrical garter stitch shawl. And that is by Anne Cortez. Once again, everything will be linked. But this is a really easy fingering weight. If you have a skein lying around, especially a variegated skein that you want to just show off, this is another great gift knit. It's fingering weight, but it didn't take super long to knit, and you just knit basically until you run out of yarn, which I loved. So that's another option if you're looking for something a little more special, or for someone who wears shawls or scarves, but you don't want to knit like a giant thing. Or if you have 2 or 3 skeins, you could just keep going and going and going, however big you want to make it. So that's, again, the Linus shawl by Anne Cortez, and I would recommend checking that out. My last one that I don't have with me to show you is the Christmas Tree by, bear with me, Baiba Zelme. I'm so sorry. I know I'm probably saying that one wrong. But it's just a really simple, like, pine tree ornament. It's knit flat, it's garter stitch, there's a little bit of shaping, and I knit those the same year that I knit the hats and stuff, just as like a little, almost a gift tag kind of thing, a little tie-on to tie onto these packages. They were so cute. That they could use as an ornament or put on a table or whatever they wanted to do with it. So if you're looking for an ornament to knit for people, that's another great one. Or you could knit a bunch of them in forest green or something, or different colors, and make a garland. You could do all kinds of stuff with that. Whew. All right. See, that did take up a lot of time. Okay. Stash editions. So, spoiler alert, if you did the 31 Days of Disney Villains from Fangirl Fibers, this, I'm going to be showing what runs from like day 13 or 14 or something, I don't know, up through today. So if you don't want to see, then at this point, look away. I don't know. Come back in a few minutes. But pretty much everybody should have opened those by now. So we're going to run through these pretty quickly. All right, we have Madame Medusa from The Rescuers, 1977. I love this one. It's so pretty. I'm just going to toss these in here, I think. Then we had Amos Slade from The Fox and the Hound. And if I'm a little shaky, I'm sorry. It's because it's getting cold. It is getting a little chilly. The Horned King from The Black Cauldron, which I have never seen The Black Cauldron, to my knowledge. Need to add that one to my list. Professor Ratigan from The Great Mouse Detective. We have Ursula from The Little Mermaid. And she's probably my favorite Disney villain. I love this one. We have Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. We have Jafar from Aladdin. Okay. I'm missing one. I bet it fell somewhere. Okay, well, I might get it, I might not. We'll see. We're going to skip that one. The Nightmare Before Christmas, we have Oogie Boogie. We have Scar from The Lion King. We have Sid Phillips from Toy Story. We have Hades from Hercules. Ooh. We have Pain and Panic, also from Hercules. And yesterday we had Shan Yu from Mulan. And I don't know. Oh, okay. I see it. Let me go grab it. Okay. The one I skipped, which I just grabbed, is Iago from Aladdin. Okay. All right. And, oh, I didn't show these last time. I don't think. Maybe I did and I don't remember, but I don't think I did. These are the two progress keepers that came with it. So we have Maleficent and Cruella, which, there you go, you can see there. And there's Fangirl Fibers. If you've been around a while, you know we see a lot of her here. And last thing I have to show today is, so here in Northeast Ohio, which I discovered when I went to college outside of the state that very few other places apparently celebrate, in October, we celebrate Sweetest Day. And that's basically, it's kind of like Valentine's Day, but in October and more low-key. But it's something that was started by the Cleveland Plain Dealer. This year was 100 years after the first Sweetest Day. And it's apparently something that's basically a Northeast Ohio thing. So anyways, for Sweetest Day, my husband got me this yarn from String Theory Colorworks, and it's a self-striping skein, and it's called Sign Up Signaros. You know what? I'm just going to show you. That's the colorway name, and that's the stripe pattern. And you guys, it's based on Charmander. So I'm going to have Charmander socks. I'm so excited. I don't know when I'm going to cast these on, but whenever I do, I'm very excited about that. So that's my last stash addition. I lost my notes. I'm not sure where they went. So life update. We're just going to do that really quick and then we're going to go. I had a game night with friends last weekend. We had a couple of friends come over. One of my brothers came over, and I did a big charcuterie board spread thing, and we did a pot roast, and we played a bunch of games, and it was fun. It was a wonderful time. And I think that's about all we've had going on outside of work the last couple of weeks, I think. I could be missing something. I had a very long stretch where I was working I worked 7 days in a row, so I didn't really do anything. And then, like I said, I've been working on that other project. So I think that's about all I have to talk about today. Coming up in the next couple of weeks. I don't know. We have a few things possibly on our radar to do, but I'm not sure what we're going to do. We need to sit down and sort of plan out the rest of our year here in Paradise. So anyway, all right, that's all I have for you today. I hope you have a wonderful week, 2 weeks. I hope you are well. Happy Halloween if you celebrate. If you don't, have a great rest of October. November's here in just a few days. So that's all I have. I hope you stay well, and I forget what I normally say at the end. So, anyways, I hope that you can enjoy your time in your little corner of paradise, and I'll be here knitting in my little corner of paradise. Thanks for joining. Bye.